Hi, I'm Bridget. I'm the So Flow Flipper. Thanks for joining me today. Today's video is going to be basically the big news on what's changed with List Perfectly that I told you that I was going to add on to my last video, but I realized it was going to be too long. So I'm making it its own video. So what it is basically List Perfectly has come, they're always making changes, but this time they have updated their software and it is a total game changer. It is changing the entire way that I am making my listings and loading my listings online. Completely different and quicker and more efficient and more enjoyable than I have been doing for the last 10 years, more than 10 years. So this is huge, guys. This is really huge. So if you are a reseller and you've been thinking about using List Perfectly, I do have a link below where you can get List Perfectly for the first month with a 30% discount and see if this is something for you. And they have multiple levels of their program. And so you would need to find out what's going to fit for you the best. And I will tell you that I have been with List Perfectly for several years, and I was on the middle tier, and I believe it was $40 a month. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was. And that's what I had been on from the beginning of time till now. And then when this new update came out, I had to bump to the Pro Lister, which is $69 a month, to take advantage of these features, but it totally made sense for my business. It wasn't even a second thought, honestly. So what I'm going to do today, those of you that know me, I am very new to YouTube. So, I've been buying different equipment and learning my way, but I do not have the capability of doing screen sharing yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be popping on screen my screenshots. So it's not going to be live. I'm going to put the screenshots on. I'm going to talk you through just a high-level overview of what this new software can do for you and kind of what it looks like. So it'll give you an idea of what do the fields look like, what do the buttons do, and how does it work. Okay, so I'm going to do the best I can with this. So you're just going to have to follow me on the screens and follow me, and I will guide you through what to look at. But basically, what this new software does is you can build your listing in List Perfectly by simply adding pictures, start a listing by adding pictures, and with those pictures, List Perfectly will build out your complete ad for you. It will do the description, the title, the keywords, pretty much everything, the colors, sometimes the size. It will only leave a couple components. You can edit any of the components that fills out for you, but it only leaves a couple component areas, fields, I should say, not components, a couple fields open for you to customize. And that is, of course, your SKU. So you put a location, your cost, if you want to put what you paid for it, and of course, the price of what you want to sell it for, and then your shipping costs, because how you ship it will impact what it will cost. So those are really the only areas that you would need to fill out, which you would want to fill out before you make the listings live and then have them cross-posted. So let's take a look and dive right into the first screenshot. So this is assuming you have List Perfectly, okay? And you log into List Perfectly. So this first screenshot shows you what that page will look like if you hit listings or see my listings once you log in. Now, if you didn't have any listings in the catalog, they would just be blank. So you would just have the headers, and then on the left-hand column under List Perfectly, you would have those options, okay? But I have some listings. I've been working in it for about a week now. So I have listings in there. So you can see I have different listings and you can see there the image, the title, the actions. We'll go over this. The SKU, that's just my bin number that I assign, the price that I assigned, and the platforms that I have them live on. So this is what this page would look like. But if you look to the far left, there's a couple columns that are highlighted blue. And near the top, there's one called Express Lister. This is what this is all about for me. This is the game changer, Express Lister. This is the option where you're telling List Perfectly that you want them to build your listing. Now, if you didn't want them to, you don't have to have them to. If you look at the down the column, you can just go to a regular add listing, and it would be basically like building your listing anywhere. I mean, it wouldn't feel very different than however you're building your listing right now. Because I used to, before last week, I used to go find the item on eBay, and I'd find the same item that I was going to sell and hit sell similar. Then I would build my listing, bring in my pictures. And when my listing was complete, I would then go and hit the List Perfectly icon and tell List Perfectly which platforms I wanted to cross post to. And then I would cross post to those listings. And when an item would sell, I would go to all the other platforms that it was on, and I would take them down. That's what I have done all this time until last week. But now, no longer. What I do now is I create my listings in the List Perfectly catalog. So they're not live anywhere at first. So they're all basically a draft in List Perfectly. So we are going to hit the Express Lister button on the far left, because we're going to tell List Perfectly, we want you to build my listing. So if we look at the next screenshot, we see basically almost a blank page with this big arrow up in the middle that says drag and drop your images here or browse. Now I have my pictures on my computer, so I am going to click the browse button. Okay, that takes us to the next screenshot. I selected the pictures for my item, and you can see I have this little bunny figurine item in here. And you can load as many pictures as you want. Well, I don't know what the limit is, but as many as you normally do. But the Express Lister is only going to it's only going to look at the first 6 to build your listing. And so you can see that I purposely picked something that had like a box with it. And you can see that even though I had more than 6 pictures, that I had the first 6, I made sure included the bottom of the bunny because it showed like the brand, and then the box because it showed the collection and everything. So make sure you can move the pictures around in this field however you want. And while you're moving the pictures, if you look to the right at that big orange button that says Listing Assistant, it will not be orange until you're done. Once you're done moving the pictures, it'll light up orange. Now, once it's orange, you can still move pictures. It'll turn from orange to not orange. I don't know if it's white or what. But anyway, and then when you're done, it will light up orange again. So once you're ready with your pictures, you hit your Listing Assistant button. And let's go to the next screen. And this is what will pop up. You'll get this pop-up in the middle. And it's going to say Listing Assistant Vision. And you can see it says Listing Assistant uses the first 6 images to generate your listing. For the best results, images can include labels, brand, size. And then underneath that, it's asking you, there's a drop down. It's asking you, how do you want the mood of your listing to feel like? And they're giving you an option of slightly funny, very funny, storyteller, verbose, professional, concise, just the facts, antique, or vintage. So you can pick one of those and it will make your listing have that mood. Now, if you don't like that mood, you can come back and reselect, okay? But I, in this case, picked very funny. You can see I highlighted it. So let's go to the next screenshot. This is what it came up with. Now, because I can't show you my whole screen, this is the top half of the screen. So let's look at it. The listing title says, Charming Tales by Dean Griff, the very best bunny and basket figurine. Can you believe it, you guys? It actually knew the collection name, it knew the artist name, and it actually could figure out the actual title of this figurine. And I didn't provide any of that information. So, I mean, that's incredible just to come up with that kind of information in the title. Then underneath that, you see the SKU. Now, I filled that in. That's your location, like where you have it. That's my bin number that I have it in. You can see that it's still in draft mode. Everything is in draft mode until we're done, until you tell it to post on the platforms that you want it to. Then under that, it says color, green and yellow. So they came up with that. They knew that this item was mainly green and yellow, guys. I did not tell it that. Material, resin. They knew this was resin. I did not tell it was resin. Size and price remain empty. I do all my editing at one time, so I just leave this page alone. But let's go down to brand. It knew the brand was Charming Tales. And then here's the description it wrote. This adorable bunny is living its best life, surrounded by berries and cuteness, perfect for adding some whimsical charm to your home decor. And then it's got some bullet points saying, adorable bunny figure, the very best design, crafted by Dean Griff, Charming Tales collection, detailed and colorful. I mean, guys, it's done. Your listing's done. You just need to tell it a few more things. So let's go to the next screenshot, which is basically the bottom part of the same screen. Okay, I just couldn't capture it all because I wanted you to see. We just went over the description. It does have a UPC field in case you had a picture of the UPC, it would show up there. But check this out, keywords, guys. How many of you spend the time to fill out all the keywords, and how much could have that helped you possibly when somebody was searching for your item? So I don't really take the time very often to put in the keywords because my challenge is trying to get these listings done, period. But look at it, it's got bunny figure, whimsical decor, resin statue, collectible figurine, Charming Tales, Dean Griff, bunny and basket, berry decor, home decor, cute bunny, gifts for collectors, adorable figurine, detailed statue. Now, if you didn't like any of those, you just X out of it. If you wanted to add any, you could add them yourself. But my goodness, guy, the work's done for you pretty much. Now, the condition down here is not pre-filled out. That's for you to put in your determination. And I filled this out. I hit pre-owned, good condition, and I wrote in very good pre-owned condition with original box. Okay. And then down here, there's some other places you can put in the weight and a couple other fields if you want to fill them out, like where it's from. Now, when you are done, you just hit listing. It will save it automatically as you make changes on that page. It's saving as you go. So you go back to listings. Okay, and if you go to the top of the page where it says listings, you can see under all, I have 94 so far. I have long ways to go because I have over 3,000, I think I have like 3,200 listings on eBay. So you can imagine why my sales are so low because of how much time I'm having to invest as I go through old inventory and do new, kind of balance it with some new listings as well. It's going to take me a while. But anyway, I'm showing 93 active and 1 in draft because we're working on this bunny in draft still. And if you look at him, you've got the draft category and then you have actions, like what can we do from here? So I don't have him quite filled out yet because I didn't give him a price or a shipping weight. So like I told you, I like to complete the the draft all in one fell swoop. So this is where we'd hit the little pen, and that allows us to open up the draft to make changes or completions in this case. So we're hitting the pencil, and this is what opens up. So it's pretty much showing what's done so far. And this is the top half of the page. Okay. And then this is where I wanted to kind of show you on the bottom part of the page. On the bottom left, you'll see after the pre-owned condition, you'll see 5 bullets with drop-down boxes. So the columns on the left, the drop-down boxes are the right. Now, I've used it enough to know that I don't need to do anything under pro description, and I don't need to do anything on the last 2 items either. So I only need to work in the second and third fields to finish my ads. And I know this just from experience. So I'm going to hit the drop down on keywords, pricing, quantity, that one, which is the second one. I hit the drop down, and this is what comes up. You can see my drop down. It's like the bottom half of the page under the green bar. The keywords were already in there, but on the right side is where you have an opportunity to put the quantity and the price. So you can see I put in the price of $22. The only time you need to put in a quantity is if you had more than one of something. And then if you want to put the MSRP, you could, or you could use that field for what you paid for the item. Well, no, you couldn't, because that's going to be visible. I take that back. And then you can see that I had put the SKU in already. So basically, you can put, if you hadn't put the SKU in earlier, you're just putting in the price. And then we're going to go to the next drop down. So you can see the first drop down is still open. It's that top green bar on this page that goes across the page. And on the second green bar, this is the second drop down that I opened up, and it's shipping and variations. Basically, this is just where I put in the shipping weight, which I put 1 pound 8 ounces in my zip code of where I'm shipping from. And I put my zip code. Now, if you want to put the box size here, you can also do that, and then it would be filled out in any platform that needed the box size. But I wasn't quite sure of my box size, seeing that it already came in a box, so I'm leaving that blank. And then the very bottom of the page, you just couldn't see. So I'm still under shipping and variations. I just showing you another screenshot. It's what we were just looking at, but I couldn't get to the very bottom of the page where it's got some tabs where the options are to open sections. In other words, go back up and open anything, save your progress, save and new. So if you wanted to edit a whole bunch at one time before you make any of them live. And then the last option is save and close. Now that's what I use because I'm working one at a time and I want to finish this and then make it live. So you do it how you want, but I hit save and close. If you put save and close, it goes back to your listings. Okay. Once you hit your listing, now you have your regular button that's next to your listing where you can cross post. So if you're familiar with, it's just the icon to cross post like you would from anywhere on List Perfectly. Once you hit the cross posting button, this is the page you get. It shows all of the different platforms that List Perfectly currently does business with, and you literally click on each platform that you want to cross post to. So for that My Little Bunny, it is vintage, so it could go on all 4 of my platforms: eBay, Etsy, Mecari, and Poshmark. So I would click on each one, and they would have a little check mark on them, and I would hit copy. Once I hit copy, a tab is going to open for each one of those platforms, and I would go in as normal, and if anything needs to be completed before you make it live, you would complete it. So each platform sometimes has its own novelties that you have to complete before you can click make live. And that's it, guys. That's all there is to it. Hopefully I didn't confuse you. But what I did want to do for you is I'm just showing you screenshots. I know it's kind of hard to work with, especially if you're not familiar with List Perfectly and how it works. But the most important thing that I want you to understand is with their new Express Lister option, they will completely build your listings. You're basically going to put in your price and your shipping and your location SKU for your bins, and then you're going to basically make them live on whatever platforms you want. And then once it sells, it will go in there. Once your item sells, it will go in and delist from all the platforms that you had it live on. So you are saving time and energy on the listing side, probably able to make 3 listings to every one before that I could before. I mean, easily. And then you're saving more time on the back end by not having to go in and delist or forget to and double sell an item on multiple platforms, and all kinds of problems that can arise from your items not being delisted quick enough, which I can attest to. I've experienced it all, and it can be a huge nightmare. So I'm telling you, this is a game changer of how I'm going to be doing my business in the future. And hopefully you got some inspiration, even if you're not moving forward with it yet, or you're not at that level yet, that you can see that there is this great light at the end of the tunnel that's saying, hey, I'm going to take 2/3 of your workload off of you and give you 2/3 of your time back. And you can reinvest that in adding more inventory and make more money. It's all about how you want to use it and how it's going to benefit you. But I'm super excited about it. And what I also want to do for you is I'm going to put a link below to the Nurse Flipper's video on YouTube, where she uses software where she can show you live in real time and walk you through a listing in List Perfectly and show you. It's the same screenshots that I'm showing you, but they're live. So she will click through and you can see it live. If you want to review it again and get a live perspective, it's a really great video tutorial on how it works. So thanks for joining me, you guys, and I appreciate you being here. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. And of course, please subscribe so that you'll be notified when my next video comes out. My next video that comes out, if you've been following me, is going to be a Shop With Me in Alaska video, which they've been great fun, and that will be coming out next. Thanks, guys, for joining me once again, and I can't wait to see you next time.